Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. If you're new, let me catch you up on what we've done. Started out looking at kit cars. Selected one that had the right looks, just needed the right engine. This kit was designed for a Honda Accord powertrain, but we decided to go with a Tesla. So we started planning for the Tesla and eventually got the Tesla, and now we're on to the suspension. Now you're all caught up. Got a package here. This should be the Tesla rear suspension. So let's dig into it and see what we got. I will take you on a tour of what I got. So starting over here, kind of got the rear wiring harness. I don't know that I'll use any of this, but I'm very grateful I have it just in case I need connectors or wire outputs from the rear. Anyways, anything in the rear. So I also got kind of the rear sway bar. And then here are here we've got the essentially all the stuff I was missing. So the rotors, so they're nice, very big, nice rotors. Essentially the brakes. This has also got the parking brake. I was wondering if that'd come with it or not, so I'm grateful to have that. On this side, got the essentially lower control arm, upper control arms, and this is where essentially the shock needs to be mounted to. So yeah, actually that rear wiring harness will be good. So if I need to tie into this one, the parking brake, that'll be good. Looks like we also got, I don't know if that's going to be a speed sensor or what that is. I'll have to do some research. But also it's got the rear brake line, and so I'll have to figure out if that's, anyways, what size that is. Make it mount with the rest of my system. The other thing that's nice is I made sure they included all the hardware. So again, I've got all the hardware for the various places. And I've kind of researched on the Tesla forums for torque specs and things like that. So again, I'll just kind of walk you around the back. And again, I've got the essentially the drive shafts. I've got over here. So this week, if I can get the rear suspension mounted to the motor with drive shafts and everything, I think I'll be a happy camper. One other thing I'll do is I may end up taking this apart to clean it. Also, I just want to figure out what the bore diameter is of these rear calipers. Just to see how that will match up to essentially the front ones that I have. So I do have a portioning valve or combination valve, so that should be able to take care of whatever differences there are, but it's another thing I'll look at. And then I'll also need to measure the bolt pattern to see it's the same bolt pattern as my front wheels, or if it's a different bolt pattern. Alright, so supplied were these, and they're called rear axle clips. So before installation, so I thought, that's great, what are they? So finally found out what they are. So here they've got essentially, I don't know if you can see that, but that's where the rear, these clips are. So I will take these out and put the new ones in. I'm guessing they need to go after I put those on, but I don't know for sure. So nobody gives me any instructions, and when I asked what are these for, they said they are rear axle clips. So great information, but not helpful. All right, so I've cleaned off one. It's not, they weren't too bad to begin with, but just wanted to kind of see what I was dealing with. I'll show you the back side. So again, just a little cleaner. Again, I wanted to kind of get familiar with it and see what it's all about. So I'll clean up the other one, and then we'll kind of start looking at installation. A couple things though. So my other calipers over there are red. These are not. So I think what I might do is I might go ahead and test fit it to the back, make sure that everything looks good and I can get some dimensions. I'll be able to see if like the fenders need to be flared out, kind of where the wheels are. It'll also help me be able to figure out which wheels I can get. So again, a matching set for front and back. So I'll probably test fit, and then after I'm happy with it, I'll probably take it off and kind of powder coat or paint the calipers. All right, so one thing, I thought this was gonna happen. So they sent these, and I requested all the hardware, but as you can see, we got hardware, no hardware, and then hardware. So we're missing something there. So the goal of getting everything in and together will probably not happen this week. So we'll still try and test fit, see what we can learn, and yeah, that's where we're to. I'm going to walk through this a little bit, just in case anybody in the community there wants to know a little bit about what these look like, how to remove or assemble these drive shafts. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the axle clips. It's recommended to essentially, if you remove or essentially not reuse any of the axle clips. So I've got some new ones here, so I'm going to go ahead and try and remove these. Alright, so there they are. I'm going to go ahead and just clean up a little bit of this rust, and then I'll put the new ones on. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and try my method of using some aluminum foil along with some vinegar, and that seems to get rid of some of the surface rough pretty good. Alright, so I'll go ahead and do this one probably one more time, and do this one as well, but just, you can see it kind of gets rid of some of that surface rust, and maybe I'll put some sealant or something on it to help it not rust again. I tried to do just kind of this half so you can see kind of what the how this process works, and that it kind of strips off that rust, so it looks pretty clean, and then this is still need to be done. We are here at the rear of the car. I've got this. This is the shock that it was made to go with. The kit car was made to go with. I just got it in place to kind of help me figure out axle location. But I've got the motor is kind of all held and suspended. I don't know if you can see that, but it's by these ratchet straps, so I can kind of raise and lower and even angle the motor. So I'm gonna take this guy off. Again, this got a little bit of rust. I'm gonna take this off, clean it up, put another coat of paint on it, and then put it back on. The next step is to put the axles back in, and then after that it's essentially put on the control arms. So I will start looking at those things. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. For anybody who's wondering, closest fit here is about a 15 millimeter. It just kind of tabs in, so it's got a tab and then it bolts. So one on each side is all I can find. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those off and clean it up. So I think that's got both of them. We'll see if this comes off now. So again, I think you just kind of lean it that way. Actually, yeah, you can kind of see, you can see right there. So that's the tab. So the tab goes in and then it kind of bolts from on top. So let's see if I can't get this out. There's that side. I'll go grab the other side. So just a few spots with some rust, but we'll go ahead and clean it up and get a new coat of paint on. Okay, here's what we got. I will go ahead and put it back in. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of research, see what we need to do for torque specs. Alright, still cleaning this up, but you can see kind of rust and then where we're cleaning it up. So we'll clean it up. Like I said, I'll probably put a little coat of paint on it and then we'll get these installed. Alright, so there's kind of the finished product. Got the ends here painted after I removed most of the rust. So it's kind of what it looks like. I did it to kind of both ends. So now they're ready to be installed. Okay, so now it's time to put in the new axle clips. So hopefully they just snap in. Yeah, there you go. It's that easy. And then for installation to the drive shaft, it says, or to the motor, it says to make sure the clips are facing down. So we'll make sure they're facing down and see if we can put them in. Just want to give a quick look at what it looks like inside. The drive shaft's going, so I don't know if you can see or how well you can see. But that's what we got. I'm going to go ahead and try and put this guy in. So I think the only thing I don't know is it says clip down. So I think that means like the U shape is down. But we'll give that a go and see if it works. So can't get it quite to click in. I'll try a few methods. Alright, so I figured out it says the opening of the snap ring is facing down. So I don't know if that's what the problem was, but we'll try it again. Still not quite. Alright, so I was given a little extra instruction that said maybe if I kind of get it in motion, kind of let the momentum carry it in and snap it close. We're going to give that a try. Yay, got it. We'll try on the other side. Alright, so I just wanted to show you my sophisticated engine hoist. So basically I've got ratchet straps kind of on all four corners, and basically then I can just essentially ratchet it up and it goes up. So I'll try and get it, right now I'm just trying to get it off the ground so I can kind of put the suspension on, but eventually I'll just get the pallet out, and I've got a jack that I can put under here to help support it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and try and put the right rear suspension on. So I've got it about the right location. Kind of look a little closer here, but so essentially this bottom one here has got to go right there. I guess you can't really see, but anyway, and this one comes over here. So I'll see what I can do to get things in place. Alright, I pretty much have it in. So down there, it's pretty close to on axis, and right there as well. So I just gotta get it exactly lined up so I can put these bolts in. And then the other thing, this, can't really see it, but this guy I think goes straight down. There's a hole in the lower control arm for that one. So we'll get that one in. Get these upper control arms in their locations there and there. And again, this is all just for test fit, and then we'll kind of see, essentially see where the motor needs to go, front and back, up and down, and then we'll have our locations to mount the motor. And I'll also figure out if I can get any wheels that'll fit this, because again, I don't know, we may have to widen the fenders a little bit, so we'll see. Okay, well I got it all in place. Again, just test fit. So basically lower control arm. Again, it just kind of takes a little bit of manhandling, and basically with the rotor and everything, it's kind of a lot of weight to kind of try and push around, but it was not too tough. Compared to the front axle, I was able to get this in with relative ease. Not a lot of hammering, with the rubber mallet. Again, here's the other point for the other end of the lower control arm, and basically this side and this side for the upper. And I still need to, back here, I don't know if you can see, but basically down here, so this one's got to go in that hole. So got to get that one situated. This other one is this is the current shock, and that's just really to kind of get me the rough position. And so that one is meant on the original car to be in line with the axis, and so you can tell it is in line with the axis. So basically I just need to raise it up. The other thing that I'm noticing is this mount point for this shock is quite a bit left. So we'll have to figure out where to mount the new one on the frame. And the other thing is, again, if we want to put some pretty beefy tires on, we'll want to make sure that the shock's kind of more angled rather than straight up and down. But yeah, that's what she looks like. Now that we got it in, I'm going to go ahead and remove this one. I don't think it's helpful anymore. And what I'll do is I'll ratchet up the engine, and I'll probably place some boards or something, bricks, underneath the wheel to try and simulate its when it's loaded, rather than just having it hang. And then I'll try and get it all centered within the wheel well to kind of figure out the exact location that I want the engine, or sorry, the motor, and kind of look at mounting options. All right, here's the other side all done. The only thing, again, we're just missing the one piece of hardware here. So, but the other ones, you got to see, it wasn't too bad going in. Most of it I could just fist pound, a couple rubber hammer mallets, but it's all good. So now I'll go ahead and raise the motor up to where I think it needs to be. Maybe even jack up where I think the wheels need to be in relation to the wheel wells, because I don't want the wheels sagging, so I want them kind of where I think the right height should be to figure out where the motor needs to be. So we'll jack it up and look from there. I am getting the Tesla motor in place, encountering some problems fitting it to the frame. So I'll kind of walk you through some of the problems here. So as you can see, we're getting the hub placement a little closer where it needs to be, so it's pretty good left to right. It needs to go up a little bit higher, but the higher part is where we're running into a problem with the frame. So right over here, so essentially if I keep raising that, this is going to hit the frame here, as well as right here. So I knew there'd be some cutting and welding involved, so I'm just trying to decide if I cut here and try and save a lot of the rest, or do I like just cut off the whole back frame, build a new one. So that's where we're to, but essentially it just needs to go up, I don't know, probably another, what is that, like 4 inches or so, 5 inches, until we're in the right spot. So once we're in the right spot, then I can kind of figure out how best to mount the motor here and here on both sides to the frame. I cut off the frame, so cut off right here and those 2 points there, and then also over there. I may end up cutting off everything, I don't know, but I just figured for now I get those parts that are in the way out of the way, put the motor up now, and figure out kind of best mounting options. Okay, so grinding away the frame, and essentially the grinding wheel kind of lost a chunk and kind of kicked it out and kind of got me right there and right there. Frame's all cut. I am trying to position the motor kind of in the center of the wheel well. With my ratchet straps, it kind of wants to pull the motor this way, so I don't really have any frame that way to kind of counterbalance it. And that's about as high as my jack lift will go. I could maybe put some, well, I tried to put some spacers on, but the spacers just kept coming off, so I just didn't feel like it was very safe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just probably use some 2x4, some wood, and just try and get, you know, make it push out, and see if we can get it close. That'll also help me understand or plan for the frame modifications. All right, that does it for this week. It's pretty exciting getting the Tesla suspension and getting it all assembled, and looks really great. Looks great in the car. Next we'll be figuring out how best to mount it. So it'll take a little while, so we may splice in some other activities as well, but hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing. Thanks.